Tekashi. I want to talk about Tekashi.
Yo, I heard he's getting special treatment in that special jail.
Well, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors.
Why does male rape always have to be made fun of like that?
Wait.
What?
What?
Is that what we were talking about? Special treatment?
No.
No,
They moved him to
Oh.
a jail for snitches.
No, I thought they put him in Gen Pop.
They
Well,
did,
no,
and then
no,
they
They
moved
did.
him.
He moved into ones
So-
where people who are typically snitches go to.
Oh, so you were saying?
Apparently, so here's
allegedly.
Here's the story. Here's the story.
I thought Nas was talking about rape.
So let's say this Saturday or whatever it is. Saturday, the feds call 6ix9ine and say, "Yo, we're gonna detain you" or something like that. But it's to protect you. In my brain, I don't think that was to protect him. Maybe a little bit, but I think that they looked at him as being an easy candidate to roll, and roll meaning snitch on someone. I think also. He declines that. He says, "No, I'm fine." They were supposed to go to some casino or some shit. The people that he's rivaling, and that's 6ix9ine's rivaling with or feuding with whomever.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go there. The feds picked them all up. Now I know that it came out that he was in general population or whatever, but apparently the general population where he's at is supposed to house nothing but snitches and informants.
Mm-hmm.
With his new housing?
Yeah.
The new housing has informants, child predators, and dirty cops.
Yeah.
Oh, so he changed the jumpsuit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's high profile. And unless you like super thugged out, you're not going to jail. I mean, you can only beat up but so many people.
Yeah.
And also for people who are listening, when I say change the jumpsuits, they have it where it's like if like you said, child predators and stuff, they can actually be in like protective, like a protective system in jail, but they have to wear a different color jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by changing the jumpsuit.
Yeah, man. I don't know what that young man's situation is, man, but he's looking at basketball number years.
Yeah, this isn't good.
No.
So in the video for this too, I'm sure we'll put the link so you guys, because we have his arresting sheet, all of this legal documentation that we'll show you guys. But just to run off a few of.
Hey, y'all,
a lot of the
homeboy
charges.
Academics posted something that incriminated you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing.
That is like, damn.
But Academics was never your friend.
I know that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't acting like that.
Well, I don't know. Let Academics tell it that they're friends, and he was trying to warn them. I'm just telling you what he said.
That clip it went up, and then it got posted down.
I'm
It's
just telling you what he
incriminating
said.
video.
But was he the first person to post it though?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Ack was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you post something that shows him pretending to put a hit out on somebody?
Yeah.
When
That's
you know
just-
he's facing racketeering and RICO charges.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
She's not smart. Not smart.
Fam, what are you doing to me?
I would hope none of my friends would do that to me.
But it's also crazy. Like he's the one that's been doing most of the reporting for it. I'm like, damn.
So there's a few counts here. I'm gonna read off a few of them. Pretty intense charges though. First charge is racketeering conspiracy, which we already know, that's public knowledge. Second one is using or carrying a firearm during and in relation to or possessing a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence, which was to discharge.
So that was for that video.
Correct.
Okay.
Second one is violent crime in aid of racketeering. And there's 3 counts of that, I believe. And then a lot of these charges just say the same shit. Well, this is the short version.
Yeah, they toss up a lot of charges to see what sticks. Good.
Yeah.
DA probably just wants a plea deal.
Yeah.
It's all a numbers game. It's all a numbers game.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think he's done?
I don't know, because Bobby Shmurda still got a lot of momentum. And he's been locked up for, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, but I think that this is different.
10, it's like,
yeah, I think this is different.
Yeah, I mean, if he does more than 10 years. So, I mean, I just feel bad for him, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you're a young
You think
cat.
he was in over his head?
Yeah.
Or he didn't.
He
wasn't
speeding.
aware of his surroundings, I guess.
You speeding.
Clearly with that video, by the way. Not to cut you off now. It's clearly with that
Do you think he was
video.
ever a gangster?
No.
No, his lawyer already
He said he was not built for jail.
So let me ask this. If he was never a gangster, and the people that picked him up and ran with him, and made him into a star and all that.
Used him.
Is it okay for him to snitch? Since he was never a gangster, and they
I don't know, because you were talking real greasy.
But if anything, they should have kept him out of all that shit.
Yeah, but you know what it is?
Or from anything that would incriminate them.
Yeah, but the difference is this. The thing is, especially when it comes to hip-hop is about selling a facade. It's about selling...
Does hip-hop still exist, though?
It does, very much so. Hip-hop is selling a persona. And the persona that you sell is something that, again, it comes to a point where you start to lose yourself, right? So as you go and you become bigger and bigger and bigger, as you become bigger and you start to see things differently, you start to really become this persona. And I think that that's what happened with 6ix9ine. I don't think that between his upbringing and him not having money and coming from a really bad place, I think that he, at some way, and I don't know where, he lost who he really was and now is 100% 6ix9ine. Hence the trolling, hence the videos, hence how he speaks. Because you often hear times, even Fat Joe, a bunch of people that say, yo, I thought that kid was an asshole, but he really is a sweet kid. He's a really nice kid once you get to know him. And I think he just got caught up.
Here goes the way how I look at it. I wouldn't look down on him as much for snitching as I would look down on them for picking up somebody that's not a gangster and having him play this facade.
That's a good point.
And also let him in on incriminating information. If you know he's not a gangster and all that other stuff, you kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like talent. Like I think about Joe, for example. Joe was signed with Webb and Nitty and all these guys. He didn't know. They taught him everything.
But why couldn't they keep it all music around him?
Well, I see what you're saying. Like, keep him out of that room.
Keep him out of that other shit.
Yeah.
Because
and just stand next to him and
but what if shit
talk
goes down and he doesn't know?
But that's the point. You
Like,
gotta.
I don't think they ever cared for him though. They're the ones who set him up to get robbed.
They never did.
From what I heard, they're the ones who set him up to get robbed, right? When they kidnapped him and shit.
Allegedly.
Well,
allegedly.
It was allegedly that also the manager took money from him.
Yeah.
Like 2.3 million or something like that.
Allegedly. So I mean, I don't know. If I'm thinking like you, yeah, I don't think that they ever cared for him. I don't believe that. Especially like you were saying with the video. That video had to come out from someone in that crew. It had to. That wasn't paparazzi. That wasn't someone hiding behind the bush. That was one of your friends filming you, threatening.
Yeah, why are you taping anything if you're
allegedly
in that world?
threatening? Let me just say that because I don't want this to be used against him either. But allegedly threatening Chief Keef's cousin. Like, those aren't your friends.
You know what's funny though? They was probably taping him because they found it funny to see this nigga talking like a gangster. That's probably why he was taping it. Like, this shit is hilarious.
Could be. It could be. Could be.
You never know.
But that's the other thing too, where again you could just tell that he wasn't he wasn't aware.
You couldn't have been, man.
Like if I'm threatening somebody, fam, put your phone down. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
Why do you even have to say that? Like if you're around, like real.
But that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. That's the other thing.
No parts of that game.
There's so much to unravel when it comes to his situation that he was set up from the word go.
I don't know. If he was never a gangster, I think that he should take that get out of jail free card.
Man. Well, it won't be a get out of jail free card. You gonna get popped. You gonna get a little spanking, but
now you can move.
Yeah.
Nah, but now you got to worry about your daughter, your mom.
Now worry about your life.
Your life.
That's
That's
exactly
part of
what
the streets.
That's exactly.
Don't act like you
if
in
he
the
goes
streets.
into jail, ain't no life there.
That's exactly what he's thinking about when they slide that notepad over to him and that pen, and they put that picture of his daughter and his mama next to it.
Plus, not on top of that, have you ever seen those situations where someone may like snitch and then they just like shank right in jail?
Yeah.
That shit happens.
Whitey Bulger. Think about Whitey Bulger.
There you
They
go.
got him fucking how many years later? 40 years later?
They was gonna get him anyway.
Like that, but that's my point. I feel like, and I think one of y'all two said it prior to this episode, where we said while you're living this facade, even after years after music is done and all this stuff is over with, you still have to answer for all this suck my dick and all this shit that you talk about.
The energy you put out is what you'll receive
you
in
still got to
return.
answer for that.
Can you imagine going to jail with rainbow hair and the name 6ix9ine?
Yeah.
No,
you better shave that shit off.
Man, I don't
Sir,
know.
point me
Tattoos.
to the shoe.
You saw it, y'all? Did y'all see his mugshot? He doesn't look comfortable.
I'm pretty sure.
I
he's
wouldn't feel
not.
comfortable too having rainbow, like you said, rainbow
Baby, how
hair and
much
6ix9ine
trash
tattoos.
he talked.
Yeah.
Yo, ain't nobody gonna touch me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. I'm super.
But also on top of that too, people have to realize that because of his previous case with an underage girl, people are gonna deem him as a pedophile.
Because he's
being
convicted.
a pedophile in jail is one of the worst things. Like they fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like they look at murderers above child pedophiles. Well, they will fuck you up.
His only saving grace, I will say, is the fact that he is a celebrity. The jail is not going to put him in danger because that's a liability. So they're not going to do that.
Yeah, and that's the special treatment I was referring.
They're going to keep him as safe as possible until they can no longer keep him safe, where he has to eventually abide by the rules of the prison.
Yeah.
But that's only for so.
Situation.
But that's
that
my only
Martha
thing.
Stewart treatment.
That's only but for so long they can keep him in.
Well, she was in Club Fed.
Yeah, the Club Fed is different. Like
no,
he's with the people. Like
shenanigans.
Yeah,
the
like,
real.
So I don't know. I just feel like it's so unfortunate, yo.
He was speeding in a year. He did a lot in a year.
But to be honest, like when we've seen artists kind of go in these situations, this is typically what happens. They get on this high point and they're like, yeah, I'm the shit, and then next thing you know, clink, clink, they're gone.
I was just hoping people wouldn't be right about him though, like especially this fast. Like, how many people tried to warn him?
Because they saw him speeding, man.
Yeah.
Well,
but that happens when you don't listen. Fat Joe literally told him the feds are watching you, bro. I've been through it. They are watching you. You make one horrible mistake, you are done for. He's like, yeah, but nah.
Yeah.
You should have been listening to him.
Fat Joe may be the one person that was 100% on point down to a T of how this whole shit was going to play out and what he needs to be aware of.
Yep.
And like a young person,
take no heed.
He was like, yeah, I hear you, dog.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen to me.
You hear me, but you're not listening.
Everyone thinks that. They always think, oh, it's never gonna happen to me until it happens to me.
And then once it happens, then what?
Streets don't change, only the players.
Only the players, 100%. That's real shit.
T-shirt worthy.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, I don't know. I wonder now what happens. What
he signed some papers, man. He's gonna look at his door. Anybody with
but you figure not to cut you off. I'm just saying, you figure even with all of this, with all of these charges, he's still gonna do some time. No, like he's not getting off scot-free because the way his lawyer is making it seem is just like, oh no, he's gonna be exonerated from a lot of this stuff. We don't really have to worry about this anymore.
No, he's gonna get some time. But the question is how much time? Because if it's like 5 years, he probably will have more than enough music to put out, like how Bobby Shmurda has. Like Bobby Shmurda is still relevant.
But
I got him doing more than 5 years only just because of that gun charge.
What, like 10 or 8?
I
think maybe like 8 or 9.
I know the an AR-15. That's what they found in his home. That's like 25.
But another question is, we don't know the answer to it. We don't know if there was any informant situation beforehand.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know because Bobby.
We don't know. We don't know if there's potentially an informant situation before because the lawyer was very confident since the beginning.
Yeah, lawyer's always confident.
That's a good point.
He was very confident since the beginning.
Yeah, but I get what E's saying. What's
like
to
we
say,
don't know.
What's to say that 6ix9ine hasn't been a snitch this entire time?
Like we don't know, and I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying like if he is by chance was helping them or aiding them in some capacity before, the charges are going to be way lower than what we're expecting.
Then I hope in that plea bargain, or whatever agreement he signs, he has plastic surgery on there, tattoo removal, name change,
everything. You have to. I honestly thought that this was a troll, by the way.
Yeah, Bobby Shmurda's situation is different because Bobby could have came home early, but his man, he said, what about him? What about my homeboy? They said, no, he's not. He's doing 7. And I said, well, if you take this deal, he's gonna get what, 12? But if you both plead guilty, then both of you are gonna get 7. Okay, give me the 7. I'm coming home with him because I'm not gonna get out early, and my man gonna do 12.
Yeah.
So Bobby already has the streets already. He's solidified in the respect as far as the streets, the underworld is concerned.
And doesn't he come home next year or something like that, or
like another?
Soon.
Yeah, it's like another 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
another year, another 2 years.
Yeah, he's gonna come back soon.
Crazy, yo.